So for the other side of the assignment, question 2.2, it says you need to create a two-way mirror storage for PC1. So we'll create this. Remember, we've created the parity storage for PC2. So this is our aim right now. So go into your PC1 and I'm going to open up this PC and go to your lower left corner of your PC and type in computer storage. So we're going to do something similar to what we did earlier with the other PC. Open your computer storage. So you just have to wait for it to load for a bit. So we'll wait for this to load. Okay, so now we have our computer storage. So this is what it looks like. This is our computer storage. So next you go to your disk management, which is within the storage section. Click on disk management once. Let this load. And now we need to add virtual hard disks that we need to create our two-way mirror. For a two-way mirror, you need two virtual hard disks, and the instruction in the assignment says you need 220 gig two-way mirror, and we'll create one extra one for a later activity. So come to where you have your action button at the top left corner, click on this and select create VHD. Now browse to the location where you want the hard disk to be stored. So it takes us to our documents. You can just name the virtual hard disk and click save, but we want to put them in one location. So right click in this space and click new and create a folder called storage VHDs. Once you create this, double click into the space and ensure that you've entered into this folder, and you can name this one. I'm going to name mine 1. Choose a naming convention that works for you. Type in 20 in here. Select the drop down and ensure that you select the gigabyte and choose dynamic expanding on the lower part of this dialog box and click OK. So we've created one disk. Then we'll repeat this process 2 more times. Browse to the location, type the word 2 in here. We're creating the second one. Save, type 20 in here, select the drop down, choose the gigabytes and make it a dynamically expanding disk and click OK. So you notice we have the second one and we have to create the last one. Create a VHD, browse to our folder and type in the word 3, and that is how you create a virtual hard disk. And you choose dynamically expanding and click OK. So we have the 3 of them in here. So all you have to do is right click in this space, select initialize disk. You come into where you have your disk 1 label, right click in this space, select initialize disk. So this will initialize the 3 disks that we've just created. So your option might be master boot record, as the default or GUID, leave it as it is and click OK. You can decide to change it, but it's better to leave it as the default. So now you notice we've initialized and put our disks online. Okay, we've put all our disks online. So this is important. So for the next thing, we want to allocate the space, the 20 gigs to each of these disks. In order to do this, we need to actually ensure that the spaces are now allocated. So coming to the space for disk 1, you need to right click and select new simple volume. So this will show you the wizard to actually set it up so that we can create, we can actually allocate the space, the storage space. So click next. So click next again, and you notice the drive is assigned to it already. Click next, and here you give the storage space a particular label. So please do this to ensure that you can distinguish the labels. So I'm going to name mine 1. You can name yours whatever name comes to mind. Then next you have to enable file and folder compression. Tick this option and click next. So you click finish. So while it's formatting, on your own computer, it might actually bring a dialog box which physically says that you should format the disk. And you can, when it brings that dialog box to you, click format disk, click OK, and do the formatting process. Right click in the second disk space, select new simple volume, next, next, next again, and you name the second volume label 2. Enable file and folder compression and click finish. Okay, so you'll notice our disks are available in here. So we'll do the same thing for the third one. Come to the last part, right click, and repeat the process again. So this is how you create this is how you start the process towards creating a two-way mirror. Enable file and folder compression, click next, and finish. So it's going to format for us that particular drive. So minimize this computer management. We've done what we have to do in here. So open your file explorer. So open the file explorer and select this PC. You can even see the drives we have just created. The 3 drives are available here. So now we're going to combine drive E and drive F. We're going to combine drive E and drive F together. So take note of this. So my internet connection is quite unstable, but let's continue. So my internet connection is quite unstable, but that's what happens if your internet connection is not stable. So we're going to combine drives E and F together for the two-way mirror. So let's minimize this. So go down to the search space at the lower left corner and open your control panel. Once you click on control panel, we're going back to our storage spaces. So click on storage spaces, and now we'll create a new pool and storage space. Select yes. Select yes while this is loading. It's going to give us the options for the disks. So we'll choose the first two disks. So it's not arranging it accordingly. We are going to combine drives E and F together. So I'm going to choose drive E and F, which is disk 1 and disk 2. Let me drag this up a bit. Then create pool. So it's going to combine both disks together. Remember, the instruction says you should change the name to user data and leave the drive letter as E. So you can change the drive letter if you're doing something else that requires you to change a drive letter, but we're leaving it as E. And you remember, we have to choose. So let's hold on for this to load. The resilience type has to be a two-way mirror. This time around, we're creating a two-way mirror. So it's here. If you're creating something else, you can select from the drop down, but we need a two-way mirror. So this is how it should be left. Then ensure that the maximum size here says 20. So it's 20 gig on both sides combined together, which gives us the storage space. So create storage space, click on this option here, and now we'll create our two-way mirror. So this is where you take the screenshots of for your assignment. You need to take a screenshot. So please bear with me as this internet connection is not stable. Take a screenshot, and this is the way you create a two-way mirror. If we close this and open our file explorer, you notice we only have the drive E called user data and drive 2, which is the G drive. So we've created our two-way mirror.